but in reality it's actually wobbling, and we are the Earth, not on the moon. So at any one point we're looking at different stuff, and
Right.
we're not in the exact XYZ location that we think we are,
Yeah.
or that
Yeah.
according to astrological
That
charts.
actually that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. That's hilarious though. That's so funny.
Would you rather be able to run at 200 miles an hour or fly at 50 miles an hour?
Dang. Run at 200 or fly at 50.
Yeah.
You gotta fly. It's kind of the same argument as the other one. Like, no
Yeah.
human has like organically flown.
Naturally,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, naturally flown. And come on, 50 miles per hour is still pretty damn good. Let's say, okay, what if you can run at 1,000, and like the parameters that you're not gonna get like fucked up from that,
Like your
Like a, like,
body is
burn
able to
mark.
handle it. Yeah.
exactly.
Even 1,000. I mean,
It's just not.
you
as
could go
cool
across
as-
the United States in 1,000 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
So you could go across the United States in 3 hours.
How many miles is the United States?
3,000 miles across, roughly. So you can go across
3
the United
hours.
States in 3 hours. You can cross the world in 26 hours.
You're just the fastest man ever to
Yeah,
live.
cause that's about right. Cause planes travel at 700 miles an hour.
Do they?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not that fast.
If you're running at 200 miles an hour, you're not even the fastest car. But you're a goddamn fast car. But I don't know. I would still pick flying at 50 miles an hour.
I would too, man.
You could commute to work every day flying. Or go to the store and fly.
catch a couple.
Like 50 miles an hour is damn near freeway speeds. You could just
50 miles is fast.
yeah.
That's fast enough.
Like if you want to go, you'll still take a plane to go anywhere out far, but you basically won't need a car.
We should make the parameter go the other way. What if you can only fly at like 10 miles an hour? That's gonna make it harder to choose. 10
Fly at
miles
10.
an hour.
Yeah, I had the
fly,
question originally at 20.
20.
Yeah. But then I was like, let's make it a little faster.
I think I would go less with the utility.
I would still pick flying at 20.
I agree. Because I don't really care about the utility of the flying. I don't need to get places faster. I just want the experience of being able to fly, even if it was at 1 mile per hour.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I don't
Just
know
being
about
a-
1
being
mile
a-
an hour. That's just floating. That's just being able to float. I think I would pick running at 200 miles an hour if I was just able to float instead.
Yeah. I'm just trying to say, like, the experience of being up in the air.
Yes, that's the
I
huge
don't really
part.
care how fast I can travel. I'm not really using it as a travel.
Yeah. If you can fly, like if you can run really fast, your space of exploration is only the surface of the world. But if you can fly, it's the volume of the Earth's atmosphere. So it's more to explore. Like you could just fly up to Mount Everest to the top.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess you could run there, but like you could fly to Everest height at anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
So
yep, you're 100% right.
for that reason, I would pick flying, even if it was at 10 or 15 miles an hour. I think any lower than that though, you start to it starts to become boring. Because let's say you want to go see like something really high up in the air, and you can only go 10 miles an hour. It's gonna take you. Well, the atmosphere is about 6 or 7 miles high, so it would take you still less than an hour to get up there and less than an hour to get back.
The fact you just know that off rip is hilarious. That's so good. But yeah, no, I'm with you.
Just the thousands of physics problems asking what the altitude of this and this is, and
No, that's actually great.
like the force of gravity is 9.81 meters per second squared for Earth.
Okay, wait. Speaking about gravity, so like the moon is like what ratio, or how does gravity? You want to explain what gravity and how it works?
Gravity is still not understood in terms of like the nitty gritty. Like we understand better how electrical charges and electromagnetic forces work than we do gravity, but we know that gravity is like we have a law for it. We just don't know why it is. We know that it's directly proportional to the mass.
Okay.
And so the
Okay.
force of attraction is directly proportional to the mass between the two objects.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can't
Okay.
calculate the force of just one thing. You have to calculate it of the between two things of known
Right.
masses and the distance
Right.
apart. And then
Right.
obviously it's squarely proportional to the radius. So the closer it gets, the more the radius starts to affect it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I I have a question about that. So like like technically like two galaxies are acting on each other.
Yeah, everything is acting on everything.
Right. Okay, so even like it would be like point zero to the infinite zeros.
Yeah, it's just
Even if it's like
it's a like, for example, if I have I don't have any like small things that I can use, but basically like, okay, let's say this is the Earth, right? And this is the moon. And the Earth and the
okay.
moon is orbiting around the Earth, okay?
Okay.
Now, it's also orbiting around the sun. I'm trying to bring this in. I gotta angle my
That's so
camera a
good.
little bit.
Yeah.
Like, they're both orbiting, they're orbiting, the moon is orbiting around the Earth,
Yeah.
and they're all orbiting around the sun, right? The
Right.
moon is so, like, the sun's gravity is acting on both the Earth and the moon at any given point. But
Uh-huh.
because the Earth is so much, or the moon is so much closer to the Earth than it is the sun's gravity kind of really doesn't have any effect on the moon.
Okay.
It's like in terms of like spatially, these two are so close together that basically it functions as this as one mass orbiting around the sun. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
And then
yes,
within
yes.
this system, the moon is orbiting around the Earth. And so if you actually
Right.
look at the center of mass between these two, it's always, like the center of mass between these two is the average point where the mass is. And it's always on the Earth still, but in between these two. And if you look at it, if you map that from a bird's eye view watching the Earth, it's not a circle. It's pretty close. It's a little bit elliptical, but it also wobbles. Because of the mass distribution and how it goes around.
Dude, that's crazy.
And then, would you like me to prove why astrology is a crock of shit?
Oh, you don't have to prove it to me. I already know. Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead. Good.
So basically, going off of what I just said about the wobbling, looking at the bird's eye view of the Earth's orbit, it's not a perfect ellipse. And it wobbles, and that pattern, it doesn't repeat itself. Like, one year we're not in the same exact place that we were the last year, and there's
Right.
a pattern that takes several thousands of years to repeat. Okay,
Okay.
so astrology works by identifying what stars are in the sky at what time of year, and that like sets the traits for everything else. Like that, what stars, the location of the stars when you're born sets everything, right, according to
Right.
astrology.
Right.
But the thing is, they can't accurately predict where the stars are on your year because there's a wobble that's not accounted for.
right.
So they're accounting for the Earth moving around and treating the Earth and the moon's mass as one thing going around the sun. But in reality, it's actually wobbling, and we are the Earth, not on the moon. So at any one point, we're looking at different stuff. And
Right.
we're not in the exact XYZ location that we think we are.
Yeah.
Or that
yeah.
according to astrological
That
charts.
actually that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So
That's hilarious though. That's so funny.
So really what it comes down to is astrology is just people who are very good at observation.
yeah, they see what they want, right? Isn't that kind
Yeah.
of like the crux of it?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you walk in to a shrink or a psychic, right? Uh, Chances are you're looking for something, right? So you're probably wearing something on your face, or like they'll ask leading questions and let you answer. There's all these types of things.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Just narrows down the probability of you
right.
aligning with whatever they're saying.
Yeah, and if you
Because
look, like, if you just put in any random birthday and you just, like, I'm a Leo, for example. If I were to go look up what it's all about to be an Aquarius, I could read down the list and I'd be like, oh, I identify with this. I identify with this. I identify with this. I don't really identify with this.
Have you seen those videos where people walk up to random people and they're like, are you like those characteristics? And then they're like, yeah. And then they're like, are you a Leo? And they're like, yeah. And then they're like, well, actually that was this. And then they're like, oh shit. Like, because it's complete bullshit. Because
Right,
it's just vague,
exactly.
like general things. And then you're just confirming your own bias,
Yep.
essentially.
That's hilarious.